WPTV.
Welcome back to the desk. The Pioneer baseball team has been off to a hot start. They're almost halfway through their season, and breaking it down with us, we have Anthony, Jimmy, and Joe. And Anthony, let's go to you first. The Pioneers crushed Ramapo University yesterday with the 8-0 victory. Darmany Rivas had a 6-inning shutout. Anthony, give us your takeaway from this game. Very good win for the Pioneers as well.
The Pioneers imposed their will on Ramapo yesterday, offensively, on the mound, even defensively. I'm looking at the stats right now. You had 3 players that had multiple hits. You put up 10 hits, you score 8 runs. You do commit 2 errors, which isn't great, but you draw your walks. I think they drew in this game 5 walks, and the pitching got it done too. I mean, you look at the pitching too, 10 total strikeouts. They only allowed 3 walks. And I do want to give this guy some love. Dan Carter, who slugger for the Pioneers, we all know what he can do with the bat, but I'm going to be real. He's gotten off to a little bit of a slump offensively, but he's been on the mound recently, been killing on the mound too, so that's a great way that he's been contributing as well.
Jimmy?
The Pioneers got it done in all facets of the game. Awok alluded to it. 5 extra base hits. They're a menace on the bases. 4 stolen bases. The bullpen came in, does the job. We always talk about Defao, Paul Mary, Darmany Rivas. The bullpen comes in, gives them solid work for his shutout, and just an all-around great win as they look to build up momentum heading into Kean this weekend.
Yep.
I got to talk about an underrated aspect of the game. Stephen Dedralmo in our 5th inning led off. He got hit by a pitch, immediately stole second, moved to third on a wild pitch, and then scored later when Habib hit a home run. It is this level of table setting that he brings to the Pioneers every single day. And I got to piggyback off of Anthony with Dan Carter. Guy's a slugger at the plate and then turns around, strikes out 4 of the 8 batters he faced. Unbelievable performance by Dan Carter yesterday.
Oh, two-way players are becoming a thing of college baseball and the MLB, as we saw Shohei Ohtani do that. Probably going to talk about him a little later in the show. But Jimmy, let's go to you. More on Rivas, because he's been pitching like, I can say any pitcher in Pioneer history, and he's just continued to get better. His freshman season was cut off because of what happened in 2020. But as a sophomore, he's lighting it up, isn't he, Jimmy?
Oh, he absolutely is. Darmany is bringing the money. In 24 innings pitched this season, he hasn't given up a run, 0 ERA, 12 hits allowed, only 4 walks. This guy's got great command of his fastball. He can drop the curveball in for a strike. 25 strikeouts on this season. This guy is doing it all. He's really coming along in this rotation. And basically his first season that due to last year, the pandemic. So you love what you got to see, and he's going to be around for more years to come.
Yep.
This guy is spectacular. Out of every pitcher in the NJAC, every single guy who has pitched in the NJAC, he is one of 2 that have not given up a run. And the other gentleman from Kean, he has twice the amount of innings. It's not just that he's doing this and it's great for the Pioneer standards. It is great compared to the entirety of the NJAC. I mean, we are talking about a guy who is top 5, top 6 in every single pitching category. He has limited extra base hits, he has limited hard contact, and he has limited the walks. Unbelievable.
Anthony?
Yeah, I mean, the numbers speak for themselves, right? I mean, there's not even a whole lot I can say. 24 innings this year, not a run. You compare that to last year, he pitched 2 2/3 innings, no runs either. So now he's off to a 26 2/3 scoreless inning streak to start his collegiate career. 26 strikeouts in that time, only 13 hits, 6 walks, only 4 walks this season, a 148 batting average against. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. And you look at what he's done in terms of just breaking down his stats over the course of the season. The dude's come in, he started games, pitching 8 innings, 6 innings, 6 innings. He's also come out of the bullpen now and pitched 2 clamp down innings, once against Kean, once against Rutgers Camden. So he can start games, he can come out of the bullpen and lock things down. He can do it all on the mound.
Very John Schmaltz. He can do it both. And I think that's just a testament how good of a pitcher he is. Last year we saw with Ian Metzger, he had a 0 ERA for like almost the first few games that he started. So it's great to see Pioneer pitching's really locked it down this year. But we all know pitching wins games, but you got to put some runs on the board, don't we, guys? So, Joe, let's go to you. Who's your team offensive MVP to start the season so far?
Well, I got to go with a surprise pick. Veteran middle infielder Matt Ferreira has been an absolute revelation this season. He is leading among qualified hitters in batting average in the NJAC. He is top 10 in slugging. And I mean, we're talking about a guy who is one of the Pioneers' mainstays. He's had a hit in every game but two. I mean, we're talking now we're 14 games into the season, and he's making his way up those Pioneer all-time charts here. He's tied for 5th in hit by pitches in Pioneer history.
Yeah, that's very, very impressive. And I know not long. He's not been here that long, but him, Steve Dedralmo, they're in the record books for William Paterson. So go from that to you, Jimmy. Who's your team offensive MVP?
Matt Ferreira is a heck of a pick, but I'm going to go with the power. Give me Steve Yellen. He's batting a 364 average this season. The guy brings the boomstick to the ballpark every year. Jeff Albies, fear the gap, fear the fence. The birds in the sky fear him. 2 home runs this season, 23 runs batted in, 471 on base percentage. This guy does more than just hit for power. He builds good at bats. Him and Dylan Habib behind the plate. He can also throw guys out from behind the plate catching. He's just an all-around tool and a great guy to have in your lineup.
Pioneers definitely have 2 studs back there catching the ball. Either Habib or Steve Yellen. 2 studs back there. Anthony, close us out.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the other catcher. Dylan Habib came around last year. We didn't really know much about him. He kind of, and I'm going to be real, he kind of got off to a little bit of a slow start last year, and you kind of wonder, hey, is he going to be able to turn around? He's turning it around. 321 average this year, 443 on base percentage, leads the team in home runs with 3, and he has 13 RBIs. And we credit the pitching, and obviously we should credit the pitching because of how good it's been. But let's also credit Dylan Habib and Steve Yellen to an extent for being able to call these games and get their pitchers through every single game, because I think they deserve some credit too. So I know we said offensive MVP, but I did want to throw that in there for Habib.
And just to piggyback off of that, these guys, I'm not sure what the chemistry was like, but it obviously was hard, and it's showing the work that the pitchers and the catchers have put in the time that these guys have been practicing. So, that's a testament to the coaching at William Paterson and just how the players take pride in what they do. And, we always appreciate that. But tomorrow, the Pioneers have a huge doubleheader against Kean. Anthony, let's go back to you quickly. What is your thoughts on this exciting matchup tomorrow afternoon?
Listen, they say in baseball, it's not about who you play, it's about when you play them. Kean, a little bit of a slump right now. They're only 6-6 on the year. They did get a big win their last game, but they're in a little bit of a slump right now. Last time the Pioneers played Kean, they lost 18-11, a football score, and that was one of the odd games where the pitching did not contribute to the extent that we expect them to. But listen, Kean's a little bit on a cold streak right now. The Pioneers are on the up. I expect them to come out, get a win. The Pioneers can do it all offensively. They get on base, they hit for power, they do it all. Kean, on the other hand, not a huge offensive team. They only have a 774 combined OPS this year. So I feel like if you can take advantage of Kean and their lack of extra base hit power, then you should be able to get a win.
Jimmy?
Yeah, I certainly don't expect another football score. I expect a little bit more of a low-scoring battle. I think the Pioneers, the bats will come through this time. They got a bit of a chip on their shoulder. Kean has won 2 out of the 3 meetings. But shout out to the Pioneers. They moved into the top 25 in Division III rankings. I believe they're number 23 now. So look for them to ride that momentum, get a win, get 2 wins over Kean, take the season series over.
Joe, close us out.
I like what both Anthony and Jimmy have said about this matchup, and it's no doubt going to be a good one. Kean is a very talented team, but when looking at Kean's stats, the one thing that struck out to me is that they're 8th out of 10 teams in the NJAC in strikeouts. The Pioneers, the one thing we know about them is they make a lot of contact. I think that this is a matchup nightmare for the Pioneers. I'm sorry, for Kean. This is a matchup daydream for the Pioneers.
Oh yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Anthony, I believe you will be on the call for that, will you?
I will not, but I will be producing part of the game. So
you'll
you hear
be
me on the post-game show.
Run the board.
Well,
Anthony Walker.
Yeah, we'll be around, and we're going to be also listening out on Brave New Radio for the call. But yes, that will do it all for everything at Jeff Albies Field. Coming up next, the NBA crew will talk all things hoops, especially the return of Kevin Durant and teams in the Eastern Conference jockeying for playoff position. Stick around here on WP Sports Desk.